Infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci said the concept of herd immunity will likely never be achieved in the U.S. because not enough people are vaccinated and the virus keeps changing. So what do experts in our state think? To find out more, we are talking to Dr. Jessica Holzer from the University of New Haven's Health Administration and Policy Department. Thank you so much for taking some time to be with us.
Thank you for having me.
So it seems like when COVID came out, one of the first things we started talking about was this herd immunity and getting vaccinated and when can we reach herd immunity and how important herd immunity was. Now hearing this, what do you think is the possibility that we will ever reach this?
So given our current behaviors, I agree with Dr. Anthony Fauci that we probably won't ever reach herd immunity. And it's a combination of the time it's taking for us to get a fully vaccinated population and the time that allows for the virus itself to have variants to mutate and for those mutations to get around the vaccine protection that we have, which is what we've already seen with Omicron and the BA.2 variant as well.
Without that herd immunity, there is still no vaccine for children under 5. And we heard over the past few days, restrictions are being eased. That mask mandate was just voided for planes and public transportation. So what can we do to protect those kids who are too young to get vaccinated, or even folks who maybe are unable to get the shot for certain reasons?
Yeah, I'm a mother of a 4-year-old myself, so I'm very on top of this at a personal level. So ultimately, those kids can continue to mask and likely should if you're doing any type of transit, even regarding, whether or not there's a mask mandate in place, you can still choose to mask. And this is true for anyone as well. Just because there's not a federal mandate doesn't mean that you can't make the choice to do that for yourself and for others. And, all of us maintain the responsibility for staying home if we feel ill. If we have any type of indication that we might be experiencing COVID, we have an obligation to test. We have an obligation to make use of the resources available to get testing equipment in our homes. So that is really where we should be focusing our efforts these days.
We have now been dealing with this for more than 2 years. So the reality is that COVID fatigue has set in. It probably has set in a while ago. How do we counteract that now as cases continue to increase here in our state?
Yeah, so I think it's like putting on a winter coat, right? So it's been a little bit colder over the last week in Connecticut, and I certainly was super excited to be able to wear a lighter spring coat. But, I've had to get my winter coat back out of the closet. And maybe it's not my favorite thing to do, but I do it because the outcome is better. I'm warmer, I'm more comfortable where I go walking and those sorts of things. It's the same idea. You may not love wearing a mask. It may feel bulky, it may feel annoying, but it's similar to wearing a winter coat. Sometimes it's the necessity of the circumstances and the environment we're in. And it's worthwhile to just say, sometimes we're going to have to put it on. The sooner we put it on, likelier the sooner we're going to be able to take it off as we see case rates go down again and we see just the incidence of the disease in our communities drop.
Well, that is certainly a great analogy. Jessica Holzer from the University of New Haven, thank you so much for your expertise and insight. We greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.